T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6.
For many decades, the human race has longed to travel beyond the boundaries of our small planet. Humanity as a whole has made many great achievements in the field of space travel. We've orbited the planet, we've sent humans to the moon, and we've sent equipment across to the far reaches of our solar system. But now, humanity has its sights set on a new goal: Mars. In the past, we've sent many unmanned ships to Mars, but sending a person is a completely different thing altogether. The furthest that humans have ever been from Earth is 400,000 kilometers away. At times, Mars is 400 million kilometers away. In this video, we'll be looking at the maths involved with the journey to Mars. We'll be looking at the distance, speed, time, and supplies needed to travel to the Red Planet. In order to find the time that it will take to travel to Mars, we must first find the distance between the planets. On average, Earth and Mars are roughly 225 million kilometers apart, and at most they can be 400 million. But once every 2 years, the planets pass each other closely. At this time, they can be as few as 56 million kilometers apart. However, sending a ship to Mars isn't as simple as shooting it off as soon as the planets are closest. Due to the time that it would take for the ship to travel between planets, the only time for launch would be many months before they're closest. This is shown in the following animation. This technique is called the Hohmann transfer orbit and is used all the time in space travel. The exact time at which the spacecraft should be launched depends greatly on the speed of the ship. Generally, the journey to Mars takes about 8 or 9 months. It can be much shorter, but the amount of fuel required makes this difficult. So, to work out how long it will take us to get to Mars, we're going to look at NASA's last successful rover mission, Curiosity. The Curiosity rover was transported to Mars using a rocket named Atlas V 541. Atlas V launched on the 26th of November 2011. Atlas arrived at its destination and the Curiosity rover landed on the 6th of August 2012, meaning that its journey took 254 days, just over 8 months. So, we have some idea of the distance and time of the trip. But how do we keep our astronauts alive during this long journey? There are 3 main substances that we should consider for human survival in space. These are food, water, and oxygen. NASA limits each astronaut to 11 liters of water each day for drinking and washing. It is possible to clean and recycle 80% of drinking water for reuse and roughly 90% of the water used for washing. Water can be generated on board the ship inside of fuel cells and solar panels and can be extracted for drinking. It is also possible to extract a very small amount of water from the moisture in the air. An astronaut on the ISS is given 0.83 kilos of food each day. At this time, it is impossible to recycle food. An average human consumes about 550 liters of oxygen in a day. In space, the oxygen in H2O, water, can be extracted. The leftover hydrogen will generally be released from the ship. The International Space Station's oxygen generation system generates up to 9 kilograms of oxygen each day. NASA plans to send humans to Mars by 2030. The journey is going to be difficult, but also exciting. In the future, we can look forward to many scientific breakthroughs on the surface of the Red Planet, as well as the possibility of a permanent colony of Mars settlers. For now though, humanity's best minds will continue to work on getting us there.